Hey guys, so as you can see, I did another Halloween tutorial for you all. This time I wanted to do more of a glam clown. This is what I came up with. I have a lot of glitter going on because you know I love me some glitter. I kind of just went with it. I didn't really have like a clear idea of what I wanted to do. As you'll see in the video, I did make a few mistakes and I kind of went back on what I wanted to do and I changed my mind a few times. But I'm really happy with the outcome. So if you'd like to see how I did this clown makeup, then just keep watching. So I'm starting with my brows first, and I do have a tutorial for them, so if you want to see that, you can go ahead and watch it. I'm just going to fast forward through this part because it takes way too long. And then I'm priming my eyes with my Smashbox 24-hour primer. And then I'm going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Renaissance Palette, and I chose this palette because it has a lot of reds and oranges in it. Since those were the colors that I wanted, this palette is perfect. And I'm going along my brow bone with tempera, and that's just going to act as our highlight. Then I'm taking a burnt orange and just putting that all in my crease with a blending brush. After that, I am going to start building up the red in my crease, so I'm taking this True Red from Makeup Forever, and I'll put the number of it in the down bar below. And following that, I'm going to pack on Red Ochre from the Renaissance palette all over my lid. And then on my inner corner, I wanted to kind of pull some yellow into the look, but it was really not necessary because I ended up covering it with glitter anyway, but I just wanted you guys to see exactly what I did. After that, I wanted to blank out my face, so I just used a matte foundation and a really light concealer. It's better to use a matte foundation when you're going to be doing Halloween looks. That way it's way more long lasting and you prevent smudging and oiliness and all that good stuff. I mean, even if you're dry, like I'm dry, and I'll still use a matte foundation if I know that I'm going to be doing like a Halloween look and I want it to last all night or whatnot. Again, this part not really necessary, but I decided to take just this red lipstick and apply it over my lid. I probably should have done this before I applied the lid color, but yeah, this is just what happened. Then I moved on to the lower lash line and I used the exact same colors that I did on the lid. After that, I took an orange eyeliner and I started mapping out where I wanted the little, I don't know what you call them, the spikes to be, or like the area of spikes, but I didn't really do spikes with the shadow. I just did more of a wash of color going down my face as if I had like cried or something. So once I had a general shape of what I wanted, I just kind of went back and forth and blended and then applied more and then blended some more until it was nice and blown out like I wanted it. Then I went ahead and started adding some darkness under my lower lash line using Cypress Umber from the ABH palette. To my waterline, I used Brick Lip Liner by MAC. Now, I'm not saying you should go ahead and put a red lip liner on your waterline because red can be very irritating to the eyes, so use at your own risk, but I did and I was totally fine. For my inner corner, I used the Urban Decay Glitter Liner in Midnight Cowboy, and then I took a brush and I just started kind of spreading the glitter around the inner corner just so that it wasn't so precise in that little corner and everything looked blended or spread out. With that same glitter liner, I decided to take it right on my brow bone as a highlight, and I thought it looked so pretty. I wanted to get kind of creative with the placement of the glitter, and so I thought under the brows would be perfect because it makes it look like my brow is really lifted, and I just thought it looked really pretty, to be honest. Then, for whatever reason, I moved on to contouring. So I took Red Ochre from the ABH palette and contoured with that. After that, I took the IT Cosmetics You Sculpted palette with the two darkest shades from it and darkened that contour even more. Because it's Halloween, I say you can go kind of overboard with it. I don't think it needs to be too soft or anything. I love a good heavy contour on Halloween. As you can see, I also went around my forehead. These aren't your typical contour colors, but they just worked. So, yeah. For my eyeliner, I'm using the NYX Liquid Matte Eyeliner, and I was trying to act like I was this pro and didn't need to be 2 inches away from a mirror, and it worked for only so long before I was like, okay, no, I need a mirror. So I just created a really nice long wing, and you can really do whatever you want with the wing. You can make a double wing, you can do 3 wings, you can do really whatever you want. Then for lashes, I applied the Icon lashes in the style COCO. These are so pretty. I love them so much. They look super natural. Well, natural-ish. For the next part, it's pretty straightforward. I just wanted to make some half circles above my brows, and I'm just using some really cheap white grease paint. With the grease paint though, you really want to make sure that you set it in place before you try to draw over it. Otherwise, the oil that's in it is really just going to mess everything up. Then I went in with a black eyeliner pencil and I started drawing out the little triangle spikes that I wanted above my brows. I created a shape that I thought I liked, but then when I started filling it in, I wasn't so happy. So you'll kind of see the struggle that was these spike things above my brows. But I ended up fixing it in the end, and they looked great. And then for some more detail, I just started adding some little dots, and I just placed them in random places. But I did like 4. I did like a diamond shape for each of them, just so that they weren't like dots everywhere, and they ended up looking like one of those pop art girls. And then as you can see here, I did fix that triangle above my brow. So for the other one, I decided that I wanted to make it black so that they were opposite and have a white triangle. So I just took the e.l.f. gel eyeliner and colored that all in and set that with black eyeshadow before I went over with the white grease paint to create the little triangle. And again, I just created a triangle above my brow. These don't really have to be the same. I mean, if you are going to be like super nitpicky about it, then yes, try to make them as similar as possible. But I wasn't like striving for that because I thought it looked good either way. And then I just went back in to add some more glitter detail. The first glitter I took was the gold one, and I just added that to the little dots. And then after that, I went in with the silver, and I wanted to add it to some unexpected places. I thought that when you put the glitter in like really unexpected places, it ends up looking really nice. So as you can see, I put it right there on the upper tail of my brow, and I really ended up loving it. For the under eye portion, same thing as above the eyebrows, except I think that the thinner these are, the better they look. If you do them too thick, it can just kind of take over. So the thinner, the better. So after filling in those triangles, I added some black eyeliner to the center of my waterline. Because the little black dots just weren't enough, I went in with some white and created little white dots. For my clown nose, I just started off by taking some red eyeshadow on a fluffy brush and dabbing that in a circular motion on the tip of my nose. I wanted to add a little highlight to it to make it look like it was really shiny and just give it a glare. So I just took some white paint and added that right on the side. Then to make it look a little bit more three-dimensional, I went around it with just a dark, cool brown. I also added some black eyeshadow over the triangles underneath my eyes just for some more dimension. And then I went back in with the silver glitter to add some more sparkle. To start my clown mouth, I first went and overlined my lips. And once I had that shape done, I went to my outer corners and I angled the lines in the same direction as my brows. And then I made sure to set that in place so that it didn't budge. And I wanted to create a little bit of an ombre lip, so the first color I went in with right on the inner portion of my lips was orange, followed by a little bit of red, and then a little bit of pink. For my clown color, I didn't get too precise with this. As you'll see, I just kind of swiped the colors on, and I wanted it to look very blended, a lot like how my face looks with my eyeshadow. So I just took some red and orange and just applied that in stripes down my neck, and as I got down towards my décolleté chest shoulder area, I created little tapers from the stripes, if that makes any sense. And then I just went over with some shadow that matched the colors just to make sure that those were set in place. And then I went in with a burgundy and placed that in between each stripe to separate them. I also took that burgundy right around my jawline to make it look like it's actually a collar around my neck. And then I added some white paint to the orange stripes just to highlight them a little bit more because I felt like it just blended in too much with my skin tone. Then to make my collar a little more interesting, I of course added some glitter after every second stripe. Then I made some little pigtail buns, and all you want to do is create what would be a ponytail, but on the second loop, do not pull it all the way through. As you can see here, my lips look a lot whiter, and that's because they are. I decided that they were just not white enough, so I just added more paint on top and a little bit more red in the center. And after that, I went in with the silver glitter and I lined right underneath the lips just to make them pop out a little bit more, and then on top of the lip towards the outer corner as well. After you finish putting on all your little details and some black contacts maybe, which I have on, you are all done. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!